Hey guys, welcome back. First of all, I just want to say thank you very much for the support and everything that we've seen from the first last Epoch video that I did. We have almost like 2,500 views on it and a bunch of comments, which I really love to see. Seems like the community is really awesome. Everyone's been super helpful. In game, I mean, there are always trolls that are talking a lot of shit. But first things first, so this is just an update for the build that I posted last week. And a couple of the items, or not items, but a couple of the things that I changed about this build are because of suggestions from the community. So, firstly, I would like to thank Quack Williams, who I think a couple of people actually commented on it, but endurance and efficiency do not. Essentially work with ward. That's specifically only for damage. So thank you guys for clearing that up. So I'm definitely going to be trying to get any endurance. So for instance, I'm going to definitely be changing these gloves, but it's tough because of the int cast speed and health. And I got and I sealed an affix to the gloves as well. It's regen, which isn't amazing, still good though. So any places that I do have, I think that may be the only item that I have endurance buffs on. So I think it wasn't a huge difference, but that's definitely good to know. So endurance does not affect ward. And the other shout out that I would like to make is to Skynet, who gave me a ton of information on the build. So firstly, I had tested the non-spinning orbs for static orb, which is from orbital fulmination. So instead of shooting the orb, that'll make the orbs rotate around you. And from a damage standpoint, I honestly can't see too much of a difference, although Skynet did say that it's a little bit gimped. I do just like being able to teleport in the middle of a bunch of mobs and so what I was using essentially is where is it? So you can only have one maximum orb per point. I would only put one in here. So whenever you cast one, they start orbiting. Whenever you cast the second one, it automatically explodes the orb. So you can control when it explodes, and it's just in units around you. But I've definitely so his Skynet's suggestion, and thank you again, big shout out, was to use a further range or build because as I'm getting into higher corruption, I'm over 100 now on a couple of the monoliths, and you can't really face check as much, especially when you have a lot of the enemy buffs from previous nodes. So the kind of close range, your ward just gets melted if I'm trying to use orbital fulmination. So what he suggested was to play a more further ranged build. So what we did here, I'll go through all the skills again really quick. So this is I didn't change anything from the build in teleport. If you want to hear me go through these again, then check out the previous video. We didn't change anything in Flame Ward either. One another suggestion that he did make was because of the way that that half maximum chains works with convergence. Since I have two here and three here, if I had one more, it would have rounded down, I believe. So let's see, blast half as many times rounded up. So let's see what his so your increased light multipliers, which should come mostly from adorned idols. Okay, no, that's not it. Let's see. 4 points in arcing power is the same as three since the chains to same target nodes halves but rounds up. So 3 plus 2 equals 2.5, so that would be 3. And then 4 plus 2 is 6, half would be 3. So we took 1 point out of here and we added that into 5% cast speed. So it's not a huge change, but definitely helpful. Like that min maxing is always super, super, super helpful. So thank you again, Skynet, for that. And then we're in the same, I believe, everything here for focus. And then so for lightning or for static orb rather, what we did is we took out 111 for unlocking orbital fulmination, and we put in We had one here already, but we added two more into Volatile Outburst, which gives it more damage ramp the further it goes. A little bit less projectile speed, but it's really not that huge of an issue. And then we put one into Storm Artillery. So it travels faster, which essentially evens out the projectile speed debuff, and it will kind of make it launch like artillery, hence the name. So it has arcing trajectory. It doesn't pull, which isn't a huge deal because we're just trying to get AoE damage in, and it increases projectile speed, like I said, and it increases damage by 8%, which is not huge. We also did not change any of the passives as of now, so we're looking at this for base class. We have a couple here into Spellblade, and then we have all the same into Sorcerer. So nothing changed on that front. I did get. So here's another question that I have for you guys. I just got this Eviscerating Crystal Wand of Freezing, and I do like the Crystal Wand. So this is the wand that I had initially when I made the initial build. So another thing that a couple people, including Skynet, another shout out, thank you, is you don't want to put essentially all of your eggs into one basket. So I was transparent about it in the first video. I'm fairly new to this game, only have 100 hours, so all these things I'm really taking into consideration. So the comments really do help, and I appreciate it, guys. And it helps everyone learn a lot more, so I really enjoy it. So essentially what he says is, you don't want to put all your eggs into one basket, i.e. put everything into spell damage and lightning damage while leaving, for instance, your cast speed and your crit multiplier a little lower. I think crit multiplier is probably essential for this build in particular because, as you can see, my spell crit is 60%, and I believe because of my lightning crit chance, it's probably higher than that. I'm critting almost every single time unless I have a debuff of crit avoidance from one of the nodes in a monolith. So I've taken this one out. It is a 9 spell damage reduction, and I already did craft it. Unfortunately, I probably should have rerolled the implicits first, so it's a little bit more mana, but it's 9 less spell damage. That being said, I lose Ignite, which I really don't care about, and I gain freeze rate multiplier, but I'm losing 80 lightning damage, 80 spell damage, and gaining 43 crit multiplier, 15% cast speed, which is amazing, and stun chance is also fairly good too. So I'm curious. I don't recall if Skynet, if you subscribed, but regardless, it's not a huge deal. I just wanted to see if you were potentially going to see this video to see. I just want to see what you guys think is a better choice here. So essentially, we're losing 9 spell damage, 80 lightning damage, 80 spell damage, to gain 15% cast speed, 43 crit strike multiplier, 80% stun, and a lot more freeze rate multiplier. I think ideally the T6/7 would be crit multiplier or cast speed, obviously, but we got 3 good rolls. I mean, the freeze rate multiplier isn't terrible, but it's obviously not ideal for our build here. So this is just one of the kind of items that feel very close that I'm not too sure about. I have been playing with the crit multiplier. As you can see, it puts it up to 361, but this keeps me at 432 lightning damage, and basically, wait, what is that? Yeah, 90, almost 90 more increased spell damage. But yeah, I will show you guys the build now with the ranged lightning blast, or static orb rather. So I'm at 217 corruption now, so it is a little bit higher than what I was working with before. Let's see. We got reduces corruption, reduces corruption. We will go here. Now we'll do, let's go here. So now well, obviously with most games you need to play a bit more conservative as the difficulty goes up. So now I'm going to be shooting my orbs from quite a bit further. It keeps me a lot safer, and it keeps a much bigger buffer onto my ward, which obviously is very good. Mage is, in most games, a very squishy class in general, and glass cannon-ish, you could say. So it is. I haven't really sacrificed anything except for more close range damage. And you can spam this too, which is really good. So I haven't really sacrificed anything, and this kind of forces me to play a little bit further back and safer, because the further I am away and shooting these orbs, the more damage I do because of the damage ramp. So it incentivizes me to play safer, which is always good because I'm known to try to die in every game I play. I'm known to try to just dive in and kill shit. So this is gonna. I feel like this is not only it theoretically does more damage, but it also is going to help my playstyle to kind of take a step back and play a little more ranged. And also with this, what we're also going to try here is actually, let me finish this one really quick, and then we're going to swap over to we're going to take Exsanguinous and Last Steps of the Living off, and we're going to try this range build. Is a little bit more suited probably for Life Leech and to use Twisted Heart of Ukeros as it's meant to be used. So I'm gonna try out with 0 HP, or try out with HP instead of the 0 HP build. Just because this build, I preferred it when I was getting up close with Static Orb, because I had a higher HP pool with Ward when I would dive in with the spinning Static Orb. So now that the orb is longer ranged, I have more time to build up that Ward rather than having a huge pool of Ward to begin with. So let's go ahead and give that a try really quick. Ooh, nice. 1 LP Grimoire. Not bad, not bad. So what we're going to do now to try it out... Ooh. Fire damage and shock. And we don't really need that. Not amazing. Let's see. Okay, so now we are going to pop on Prism Wraps and see what boots we have to try out here. So we're going to use these. So rather than losing health periodically and gaining ward from the lost health, so as you can see, the health is going to start going up. And we're going to use all that static ward that we start with, and we are going to basically just be leeching life and gaining ward from Twisted Heart of Ukeros. So we aren't losing any skill points here, which is very nice, and we're going to be gaining elemental damage, less elemental damage taken, and increased critical strike chance. So as you can see, it goes up a tiny bit because we already have a ton. So it goes from 60 to 63 for spells, which it's okay. So let's see what we're going to do for boots now. So we're not going to pick those. We don't need dodge, or attunement is okay, not great. This is not bad. Int and health regeneration. Int attunement, cooldown recovery speed, 14% armor, so we're going to consider those for sure. Int dodge, no, I don't think we really need dodge. Vitality is nice for health, so we'll see how much health that gives us. Here we have health regen, 72 health, movement speed, reduced duration of stuns. That's irrelevant because we have 100% uptime of no stuns. So we're gonna see what we're looking at in terms of stats with these 3 boots here as alternatives. Let me actually throw this into here. Actually, I think this is probably Necro item, so we'll throw it in there. And we'll leave that in here just in case. Let's see if we have any other boots that are potentially something we could throw in here. Yeah, and this is 7% to 7.9, so we're definitely going to want to keep that. Let's see. Purple boots, purple boots, purple boots. Alternatively, we could also use transient rest. to give us physical, poison, necrotic, armor, movement speed, and also gain 45% of your current mana as ward when you stop moving, 2-second cooldown. So that would give us about 140 ward every 2 seconds, which isn't actually that much, and we're also missing out on potentially intelligence, cooldown recovery speed, and health. So we're probably going to avoid trying to put transient rest into this build for now. Let's see, do we have any other boots we can check out? I think that's probably it, yeah. So we're at 1774 here. Let's try out the health one first. So that puts us at 1882. It gives us a lot of movement speed. I think that's 32%, 33%. And 50% health regeneration, not super important. And what we also may do is let's grab that ring so we can toss that on if we want to try it out. So this ring would we would sacrifice health and some damage and crits chance, but let's see what it would look like. We actually don't lose anything. Well, yeah, we lose spell damage, obviously, and we lose lightning damage. But it stays the same crit strike chance because of the intelligence, and we get, let's see, 370 to... So we get 80 ward retention with this as well, and we get 30 health regeneration. So we're going to keep the ring in the inventory for now, just to try both of them out here. But I'm thinking that we're going to use these boots. Let's actually see what the vitality gives us in terms of HP instead of that. So I would say we're going to toss these boots back into storage because we're definitely not using these ones. And we're going to sell these just to clean up the inventory. So right now we're at 1924 health, 350 word retention. So these actually give more health with the vitality, but we are sacrificing. But we're losing movement speed. No, we're not moving. Yeah, we're losing a little movement speed, and we're getting dodge rating, which we don't need, and elemental resist, which we don't need at all, really. I would say this probably has better items overall. And is it worth 40 damage? I would say probably not. 40 health, I mean. Oh, apologies. Yeah, I would say it's probably not worth the 40 health. We also get better fire, or no, less fire. So I would say that this is probably a better bet for us. It has better all-around stats. And then let's see here. Yeah, this ring gives us so much health, so I think we're gonna stick with that instead of the extra ward retention and health regen. We're already at 70, so I think that's pretty decent. So yeah, let's give this build a try really quick. So this one's no longer 0 HP, obviously, so I guess in the title of this one I'll do 0 HP build rework and Prism Wraps Twisted Heart build, or something along those lines. So let's give this a whirl. So this is gonna help us. We're gonna be helped by the long distance static orb here, because as you can see, we don't have any ward to start off with, but we're gaining ward every time we cast spells, and we're getting life leech over time. So as you can see, the health is going up pretty quickly. And we're essentially getting up to the ward that we were at before. I think we were hovering for the most part around 4K. And we seem to be, because our word retention is still pretty darn high, we do have, I would say we're around 2,000 to 3,000. And this also means that endurance will factor into the build as well. So we do have a higher endurance threshold. I know that's not much into endurance at all, because as you can see, we're only at 20% for 487. So it's not a huge deal, but I think both of these builds, I will probably play a little bit of both of them and see which one I like better. I do not know which one. I guess with this one, we're getting more raw stats from the boots, and they essentially do something similar. One just has more ward sacrifice for HP, and this one, because we have such high cast speed, we are constantly turning our HP into ward. So I think both of the builds are solid. I do not know which one I like better. I would say now that we changed to the far range static orb, this build is probably more ideal since we're playing safer anyway. This build with Prism Wraps and no without Exsanguinous and Last Steps of the Living, the other build is much harder to play because you can't just dive in. You can get pretty much if you have a lot of active modifiers up, then there's a good chance that you can get one-shotted. We're obviously not getting stunned because of our teleport talent in the tree, so that's not a problem. But I think this build is probably going to be better. If I have issues clearing shit with this build or with the 0 HP build, then I'll obviously try the other. I'm going to be trying both of them out for quite a bit here. And also, I'm going to, just as a heads up, I've been trying to farm, what is it called? The Vilatria's Storm Crown, so I can give a try to the Lightning Meteor build, which seems really fun. Aaron's Will, we don't need that. So it seems like this is probably the better way to go, playing safer. So we may, yeah, we're definitely going to be, I know I'm being repetitive, but I'm still trying to kind of get a feel for this build. Since I was already playing the other build safer at range, I think this build probably fits better, and this is more aligned with what a lot of people that are pushing oh shit. This is more aligned with what people who are pushing higher corruption are running. So we will definitely still keep Last Steps and Sanguinus in the rotation for not only this build, but I really like the style of that, like sacrificing your HP for ward. I do like it, and I'll definitely be trying those with some other class builds as well. See, I still feel tankier with Last Steps of the Living and Transient Rest. I do feel like I'm doing more damage here because of the stat bonus, and maybe I need to probably just try to focus on my positioning a little bit more with this build, since you do have to be a bit more careful because you don't have that 4,000 to 5,000 buffer of ward that you do with Exsanguinous and Last Steps. So I'm definitely gonna have to practice a little bit with Prism Wraps a little bit more, just to be safer. But yeah, once again, thank you guys a ton for the support on the first video. Please follow my Twitch. It's twitch.tv/TheRaekwon, same as my YouTube channel. My streaming schedule is a little up in the air right now. I try to at least stream 3 or 4 days a week, but with work, girlfriend, family stuff, it's a little tough. But days that I stream are, say, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and then usually one day on the weekend. Maybe one of those days during the week I won't be on, but like I said, I try to stream at least 3-4 days a week, so I'll be there. Besides last Epoch, sometimes when I need a break, I do play some Overwatch 2, and I play some Apex. I just kind of started grinding ranked on Apex, so I think I'm like silver 3 at the moment, but I'm a diamond player in Overwatch 2, and from back in Overwatch 1 as well. I've played that game for a long time. I also like surfing in Counter-Strike. I'm waiting for Diablo 4 to come out, and I sometimes play Warcraft 3, StarCraft here and there. So yeah, depending on what everyone wants to watch, I'm open to play whatever. But again, thank you guys for the support, and thank you for all the comments. Once again, shout out to Quack Williams, shout out to Skynet. thank you guys very much for the support and shooting the comments. It's always nice to hear from the community. And yeah, check out the Twitch stream, and we will see you guys in the next video.